Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. So this is it. This is the last video that I will be making for the May June 2023 session. I will obviously ask you guys tomorrow inshallah about how your exam goes. But yeah, other than that, this is it. I guess the end of the road. So as always, just a couple of things. I'm not going to take a lot of time. Uh, Tomorrow, you guys, inshallah, will have your Ad Maths paper 2. I understand that some of you may not be feeling too good after paper 1 because paper 1 was definitely a difficult one. I made a video on it where I talked about that a lot of people reached out to me and said that they didn't do as well as they wanted to. So that's okay. If I said it earlier and I'll say it again, what's happened has happened. Remember, tomorrow, inshallah, is a new day, new exam. So don't let the memories of paper 1 haunt you. Just start fresh and inshallah you'll be fine. So before I get into just a couple of tips that I'm going to give you and a bit of motivation, okay, although I don't consider myself to be a good motivational speaker, but yeah, that's what you guys say. So before that, I just want you guys to just pause this video and do a quick stationery check. Make sure that you're well prepared for tomorrow. You have your pencil, scale, razor, sharpener. You don't really need a compass tomorrow, but yeah, make sure that you have all the essentials. Your calculator. If you have two calculators, that's great. If you don't, it's okay. Nothing to worry about. Just make sure that you use you take the calculator that you are most comfortable with. Okay, do not experiment with yourself. Make sure that you use the pen that you're most comfortable with. Every piece of stationery that you use, just make sure that you use whatever it is that you have been using in the past. Okay, not a good time to experiment. Right, I mean, right now is not a good time to experiment. Okay, so yeah, and as always, just stay away from two positive people and two negative people. I always say that because they just end up playing mind games with you. So even if that's not what their intention is, just stay away from people who are too pessimistic and stay away from people who are too overconfident. You'll come across people who will be like, it's a piece of cake and I've been getting full throughout, so I don't really need to worry about tomorrow's exam. Just stay away from those people and stay away from people who try and haunt you over and over again as to what's going to happen tomorrow. They're constantly trying to freak you out, or they're asking you difficult questions related to the subject. Just excuse yourself. I don't think it's a good time where you need to test yourself. Okay, tomorrow is when you get to do that. Before that, I think whatever test or whatever preparation that you had to do has been done, and now from this point onwards, as I always say, you can only make it worse. Okay, from this point onwards, if you're watching this video, let's say at 9:30, then the best thing that you can do is light revision. Okay, and by that I mean just go over your notes, go over what you've gotten wrong in the past, and again by that I mean what you've gotten wrong in the exam, not like generally in life. So whatever mistakes that you've made, just go over that, be conscious of it, make a mental note of it, and just try and avoid them. Okay, so for example, if you let's say you forgot to convert your calculator from degree to radian, so just be conscious of that. Okay, and when you're conscious of it, when that's something that you have at the back of your mind, you know that you now have to be extra careful. Just like that, if let's say you made a sign error or something, okay, so just be more, just once you go over your errors, you'll just be more conscious of it, inshallah, and you'll avoid them tomorrow. Okay, next, about the exam, remember, your papers, your questions can be divided into two main categories. Okay, so you have the short ones, okay, questions that are like 4 or 5 marks, and I'm talking about a complete question, and you have the long ones. Okay, and then you can further categorize them into easy and difficult. Okay, so short and easy, difficult but short, and just like that, long but easy, and long as well as difficult. Okay, now easy and difficult is something that's relative. Okay, what may be easy for one student could be difficult. That depends on your strong topics. So my suggestion for solving tomorrow's paper is to keep the ratio as 2:1. Okay, by that what I mean is do two short questions. Okay, obviously easy ones or difficult ones, that's up to you, but do two short questions first and then do a long one. Okay, see, the thing about admits is that it's mentally draining. Okay, you must have felt like that while solving past papers or maybe after paper 1. So by the time you get to the long question, which requires you to be absolutely present mentally, you don't want to drain yourself. So in order to avoid that from happening, the best thing you can do is maybe take a question of quadratics, which is short and easy, and then maybe take another question of maybe simultaneous equations. Okay, I don't know what comes in, what will come in tomorrow's exam, but I'm just giving you an example. And then maybe once you're through with that, maybe take an extensive differentiation question. Okay, or then maybe try and take on an extensive kinematics question or a vectors question, again depending on whatever comes in the exam tomorrow. Okay, And then, as always, do not worry about what will come in tomorrow's exam. Remember, that's not in your control. The threshold, the difficulty level, the questions, whatever we could anticipate, we did that. Okay, I made a video where I talked about important paper 2 topics, and make sure that you have a fully functioning calculator. Make sure to reset your calculator before you start, and make sure that whatever it is that can be checked in a calculator, you check it. And if one of you have seen my video where I basically mentioned all the questions that can be solved in a calculator, so if you could just comment that would be great. And if I don't forget to do it myself, I'll do it myself as well. So go over that, learn all the tricks that you have in this, learn all the things that you can do in your calculator, cubic equations, inequalities, simultaneous equations, stuff like that. If you've been following my channel, I've been very vocal, you can say, about using your calculator to check your answer. Okay, remember, it is only to check your answer. Do not expect to skip all the working and do everything in your calculator and get full marks. That is just not going to happen. Okay, and then do not lose focus. No matter what happens in the examination hall, just don't lose your focus. Okay, because if you lose your focus, you lose your chain of thoughts, and now you have to start from the very beginning. And the thing about AdMaths is the questions are so extensive. Okay, and you have to have such a step-by-step approach that if, let's say, after step 4 you lose track, then you have to start from step 1 all over again. I'm just giving you an example. So just don't lose your focus until and unless you're like done with the question, and then you just want to take a break. So yeah, do that, but make sure that your break is not too long. 30 seconds I think is good enough. You can just stretch, obviously, while sitting, or I don't know, just take a deep breath before you move on to the next question. Okay, then plan your answer. Again, if you've been following, you must have picked up my approach, I hope. And that is that every time a question is of like 7-8 marks, I always plan it out. Okay, I set new objectives before we get to the final answer. So for example, if the question is asking you to find out the area where find out the area of a triangle where you're given points, and the points are such that the normal cuts the x-axis, y-axis, whatever. So in a question like that, always plan your answer that, okay, before I can find this, I need to find this. So now I'm going to focus on this and not worry about anything else. So set new objectives for yourself, new and short objectives for yourself, and then see what is available for you to achieve that objective, in the sense that what coordinates are given, what values are given. Okay. And then step by step, have this approach till you get to the final answer. Okay. And then make sure that you get enough sleep. Yes, very, very important. It's part of your preparation. Getting enough sleep is not for those who are done with their preparation. Okay, whatever state of preparation is right now, just get enough sleep. Trust me, you don't want to be in a state after tomorrow's exam where you're like, oh my god, why didn't this occur to me? Or oh my god, why didn't I think of this then? Okay, that's the worst possible state to be in. Okay, and the best way to avoid that is to get a good night's sleep. 7 to 8 hours is minimum. You need a fully functioning brain. The only way to have that is by getting a good night's sleep. So it's part of your preparation. All right, remember what I'm saying. Getting a good night's sleep is part of your preparation. You know how you go over your notes and stuff? So just like that, getting enough sleep is also very important. And then lastly, when you're doing light revision, just a couple of things that I think you should go over all the formulas of all the shapes. Okay, because a question might come. Again, I'm not giving a guest paper or anything of that sort. Go over all the formulas of differentiation, in the sense how to differentiate different type of functions. Go over that. You have power functions, product rule, quotient rule, exponential, and all that stuff. Go over the rules of integration, of course, very important. Just go over the derivatives of, like I said, trigonometric functions and stuff like that. And also, one thing that I'd like to mention, before that, go over the rules of binomial as well. Okay, the multiple cases that you have. Go over all the formulas for coordinate geometry. So everything, basically all the topics, all the important stuff related to every single topic, just go over that. Okay. Yeah, and as I was saying, as soon as you get the paper and as soon as you're allowed to write something, just write whatever it is that you think you will forget, okay? Or you have been forgetting in the past. So if, let's say, you forgot what the derivative of sine was, just write that down. Remember, as soon as they allow you to write, before looking at the question or anything, just write whatever it is that you're likely to forget, whether it's a formula, derivative, integral, whatever it is, just write that down, okay? And when you start, just make sure that you scan your paper so that you're aware of where each and every question is and what topics you're tested on. And yeah, inshallah, you'll be fine. So I hope every video that I made, every live stream that I did was beneficial for you guys. And one thing that I always say to my students, and obviously I'll say it to you guys as well, that I hope that you guys took away more than just math concepts from the times that we spent together. So that's it. Signing off for May June 2023, and I will ask you guys tomorrow, inshallah, about how your paper went, and do let me know how it goes. So that's it. Best of luck once again. Make yourself proud, make your parents proud, and make me proud. So take care. Allah Hafiz.